press green, it works.
Good evening. It's 6:01, and I'd like to call the Kalamazoo Citizens Public Safety Review and Appeal Board meeting to order. At this time, we'll have the roll call, please.
Certainly. Christopher Caldwell, excuse. Luis Garcia.
Present.
Curtis Gardner.
Here.
Oliver Howell.
Here.
Barbara Miller.
Here.
Vernon Payne.
Here.
Susan Stapleton.
Here.
Larry Tolbert.
Present.
Thank you. Thank you for being here tonight, in person and as well as via the city's live streaming platforms. Masks are no longer required in City Hall and the City Commission chambers. However, attendees should continue to practice social distancing. Your cooperation and compliance with these rules are appreciated. Public comments will be accepted during the times as indicated on today's meeting agenda. Community members that wish to provide public comments over the phone can call 888-382-9556 during the citizen comments period. They will enter a queue and will be prompted to offer their comments in turn. Callers will be commenting to the board live and will no longer be able to leave a recorded message.
Thank you, Ms. Dusick. In your packets, you received the minutes from our previous board meeting on the 10th of May. Are there any additions, deletions, or changes to those minutes? Hearing none, is there a motion to adopt the minutes?
I'll make that motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved and second to adopt the minutes. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, same sign. Minutes are adopted. PCR report, please.
Good evening, Chairman, Vice Chair, Board, Director Dusick. In your package was provided the PCR report all the way up to the end of May. I think you hopefully had a chance to review it, and I'm here to answer any questions that you may have regarding the PCR report.
Any questions for Assistant Chief Green?
I am hopeful at the next meeting, as I mentioned last time, that we're in a transition of moving. Captain Giles got promoted, and we're moving. We have a new inspector, Inspector Mason, Chuck Mason, and he is at training right now. And when he comes back, I will hopefully at the next meeting be able to introduce him as the new inspector that will be responsible for the PCRs and also the internal investigations.
Thank you, Assistant Chief Green. Also, I'd like to thank you and your staff for the completeness of the data that you're providing to the board. It's thorough, it's in-depth, and it answers a lot of the questions I'm sure that the board would have had if you had not prepared it in such a comprehensive manner. So I simply want to thank you on behalf of the board.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
All right. Next on the agenda is the activity tracker.
I do not have any updates to the proposed changes we made in the last commission or the last meeting.
Any comments or discussion on the activity tracker, board members?
Chair Payne, I would like to offer that we are going to be having a meeting to discuss in depth the activity tracker in its completeness, and that will be shared with each of the board members.
Yes, I think on our previous meeting, we agreed to the changes and consolidations that we now have before us. That should provide a more efficient operation of those tasks that are assigned to us. We will further refine that at a meeting, as Ms. Dusick indicated, later on this week. Hopes being that we can streamline the timeline and the commitment that each board member has to make to the subcommittees that they are assigned to. Right now, the original commitment by each board member to provide 4 to 5 hours of service per quarter might be inoperable and perhaps should be revisited, because I think that if we're going to engage in subcommittee work, it's going to take a bit more time for us to commit to this board activity. And that will be a part of the discussion that we will have later on this week with the city manager, staff, and representatives from KDPS. Any further discussion on the activity tracker?
Chair Payne, may I make a comment?
Absolutely.
Thank you. I would like to point to resources. Number one, recruit intern to support the board. Tonight, I would like to announce that Joshua Schaefer has joined the Human Resources City Manager's Office team as an intern and will also be assisting us as the intern that we needed. So we are very pleased to have Joshua Schaefer with us. He is a graduate of Loyal Norris High School, and he's attending University of Michigan. So we're very glad to have Joshua with us.
Joshua, welcome. And we are so pleased to have your support with the board and other assignments as well. But please know that we will have plenty to help you stay busy. So welcome and thank you. The activity tracker that you have before you is not in color. If it was in color, you would see that most of the activities that we have assigned to the subcommittee are on schedule. There are 2 areas that need monitoring and attention, and we will certainly be discussing those areas when we meet later on this week with the city manager's staff and liaisons to the police department. Any further comments or discussion? Okay. Any board member comments? Okay. Citizens' comments at this time. There are no in-person comments. Are there any call-in comments?
Chair Payne, there are no incoming calls.
There are no in-person comments, and there are no citizens' calls. That concludes the scheduled agenda items for this evening's meeting. Our upcoming meetings include July 12th and August 9th. I will entertain a motion to adjourn the board.
It appears nobody wants to leave. Make a motion to adjourn.
I second.
It's been moved and seconded to adjourn. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. We are adjourned.